Monica.
And we're going to talk about the role of the father or the role of the partner in breastfeeding and the importance of the support from family to have a successful breastfeeding experience.
So we have 4 daughters. We're not experts on anything. We're just 2 parents trying to share what we went through and maybe open the conversation with your partner when you'll do the breastfeeding adventure.
At first, it's a lot of doubts, a lot of unknown for the parents, especially for the mother who's subject to comments or to other people's experience and opinions, and she puts her experience in doubt. For example, for our first one, Monica, after maybe 3 weeks or a month, she was going to bed crying, thinking that everything was not going as planned and nothing was going right, just because baby was breastfeeding a lot, always wanting mom, crying a lot in the evenings. But I reassured her. My job there was to reassure her, to tell her basically that baby was happy, the baby was taking on weight, the baby, everything seemed right with the baby, except maybe she was crying a bit more in the evening. That was it.
She was a lot at the breast.
She was a lot at the breast, yeah.
And probably that's the problem, because we've been told that the baby's supposed to be drinking every 2-3 hours. So we add that schedule, that routine in our heads. But it wasn't the case. The baby was at the breast maybe after 30 minutes, maybe after 1 hour, maybe 1 hour she drank. She could be at the breast 2 hours in a row. So there was no schedule, no routine. And that's why I doubt myself, because the baby was always at the breast in the evening.
Yeah. So once we accepted that, everything went smoothly, and we just had to make changes on our routine as parents to make it work.
Yeah, I had that pressure that since I was at home, I was supposed to do the cooking, the laundry, the cleaning, that the dinner was supposed to be on the table when my husband came home. I don't know why I had that in my head. Maybe it's because of the TV or film or a movie, I don't know. And that made me, that put a lot of pressure on myself and was probably
negatively affecting the breastfeeding.
Yeah. So after a while, I couldn't do it all, and then Luke told me.
That's how, when I stepped in, I said, "Listen, just focus on feeding the kid, my daughter, and I'll take care of the dishes. I'll take care of the laundry. I'll take care of cleaning the house. Just make sure our daughter's fed."
That's when everything changed. Since she was cluster feeding at night, he couldn't hold her anyway, so that's why he did all of the thing I couldn't do in the day. And after that, the breastfeeding went
smoothly.
Yeah.
Well, we have 4 daughters, but all 4 of our experiences were quite different. For the first one, for example, since she was cluster feeding and always breastfeeding in the evenings, I was in charge of changing diapers. I was in charge of getting the burp out and the bath.
Yeah.
That was my job. That was where I could contribute to help Monica with our daughter.
Also, after she drank in the probably 3 a.m. in the morning, she did not go back to sleep for another hour. So since I already been up for an hour feeding her, then Luke would take her and
I would take her to the living room and rock her back to sleep while watching the sports news and keeping me informed on what was going on in the hockey, football, and basketball world. So that was our first. And once she stopped needing me in the evening, I realized that I missed those times. And when it came to our second, that one was different. She was not cluster feeding in the evenings.
But she was drinking every hour or two.
Yeah, she was
Day and
drinking
night.
often. So since Monica couldn't necessarily have long stretches of sleep, I told her to go to sleep at 8, and I make sure she would stay asleep. I'd watch hockey or football or whatever, and she would wake up at 10 to breastfeed. I'd bring her up to Monica, wake her up slightly just so that she could breastfeed while still resting, lying down. Yeah, I made sure the baby was safe, and then when she was done, I brought her back to the living room, rocked her another 2 hours or so, just so that Monica could get a nice stretch of sleep. And then by midnight, I usually would bring her back to Monica, and that's when I would start my night. And sleeping 6 to 7 hours as a dad, it's a luxury. So
in a row.
In a row. So
that's amazing. I don't get that right now.
Yeah.
The key after the second one was to learn to communicate. That was our challenge. I wanted something done. I would just say comments in the air like that, and he didn't get it at all.
For example?
For example, I wanted my floor be clean, and he would probably just clean the toilet.
Well, because she would say, the house is dirty, so I just clean the washroom or whatever, do the dishes. But really what she meant was that my floor is dirty.
Yeah.
So I didn't clean the floor because she didn't ask me to clean the floor.
So we learned to say what we want in the right words and exact word.
Yeah. Just communicate what you need. For our third one, it was a different experience in the sense where I worked away from home. I had changed jobs between the second and the third, well, just before we got the third.
Yeah.
And I was more on the road. I left before everybody got up. I got home after supper, after the bath were all done. So I lost that time with my kids. With the other two, I had created a strong bond, while with the third, I had a lot more difficulty, just because I couldn't do the diaper changes I usually did. I couldn't do the bath, and Monica didn't really want me to rock her back to sleep at night, just because she didn't want me to be tired on the road the next day or whatever. So still today, I have a weaker bond with my third one than my other three kids, just because I was not as much at home as the others.
Well, for sure, it's the dad's job to deal with the visit and the comments and the opinions, because mom is already tired. Mom is hormonal. I don't say that right.
Mom's hormonal.
Hormonal.
So that's when I stepped in and I dealt with the situation. And usually the visit, they want to take the baby and rock the baby and let mom do the dishes and fold the laundry. But really, it should be the other way around. What Monica needed was someone to do those things and for her to be able to sit down and breastfeed her baby.
Yeah.
So we're lucky to have family that was actually supportive in that way. But
it was a learning curve for sure, because it wasn't the same for the first versus the fourth. But after one breastfeeding adventure, the second, the third, and the fourth was very easier for the family. They knew what to do. But at first, yeah, it was a lot of comment because baby was crying always at the breast at night. Are you sure you're having you have enough milk? Everything. But after a while, we dealt with that, and we noticed that people want to rock the baby, you want to keep the baby, but we know that the feeding cues for breastfeeding baby are not the same. They're not crying yes, they are, but there's earlier signs, and mom have to put the baby to the breast at those early signs to make sure she doesn't have too much difficulties, because a hungry baby is a crying baby and won't take the breast.
So Monica had a way to look at me when she wanted me to go get the baby. So when I knew she wanted her baby, I always found a way to go get her and bring her to Monica so she could breastfeed without having the tantrum that would come with the late cues of breastfeeding.
At night, around 3, 4, 5 a.m., my baby always wake up, and she's 10 months old and still wake up to breastfeed. But at the first few months, she would take a lot longer to go back to sleep. She would breastfeed a lot longer. So I would breastfeed close to a window to see the sunrise. I would turn on the Christmas tree to make it a calm atmosphere and have some memories that will stay with us long, because those 3 months, 4 months, it seems to be a lot when you're waking, but those moments, those months will be so much missed.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the same for me. Our first and our fourth was the ones where I had to wake up more in the night. And for the first, for me, it was watching sports with her. And for the second one, I always made the fourth one. We had in our new house, we had a fireplace in the living room. So I always made sure to make a small fire before going to bed. So when I wake up at night, I just had to put a log in the fire, and I could rock her back to sleep while having a nice fire in the living room. So I look back at those fondly, and I miss those moments.
Yeah. Those moments are precious. Baby won't sleep through the night even after that, but after that they just breastfeed and go back to sleep. So you don't need to snack or make something out of it. But yeah, it goes very fast, a few months, and it's amazing.
So basically, it's just to have support where it doesn't necessarily have to come from the partner. The family can help also. For example, when my sister got her baby, her husband got a job away from home during the week. To be successful while breastfeeding, we noticed that she needed help. Monica, she supplied the food. She made sure to make enough during the weekend to put in her freezer and make sure she was eating good meals during the week. And my mom was there in the mornings while she was up all night. She was able to go sleep in the morning. And since I was working close to her house, I used to go there during my lunchtime, take care of her baby to allow her to get a shower and take care of herself. So that's how she was able to breastfeed for a full year, and she was successful doing it.
Yeah. So we learned a lot, that's for sure. We learned who we were and
who we were as a couple and who we were as parents.
We learned how to communicate, and after all 4 breastfeeding adventure, well, we can say that we are a team, and without that team, we wouldn't have 4 kids, that for sure.
We made it work as a team. So there's always something that dad can do, whether it's skin to skin, even if you don't bottle feed, you can always change diapers, make sure to bathe the kids, to do other activities with the kids. And after a while, you'll see, like for my kids, for example, after 6 months, when they want to play, I'm their go-to play person.
That is very fun.
And dad is the fun guy, and mom is for food. So,
and other things.
But it's just to say that there's always some way to create a strong bond with your kids, and
even though you're not
feeding them.
Yeah.